First, we're gonna device, microphone, USB audio device. There we go. All right. Hello. Once again, we are here for everybody's fun Wednesday stream. We need a name because it's not Monday, so it can't be Fun Day Monday, but or Fun Day Sunday. No, it's Mega Weenie Wednesday. Anyway, I am TJ. I am here once again to talk about our lovely game with my co-host Frank.
Hi, everybody, and we are not calling the stream Weenie Wednesday.
No, Mega Weenie Wednesday.
We're still not calling it that either.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever, Mister No Fun. Either way, we are here to discuss our lovely hobby, the new models coming out, what we have been working on, 10th edition, and a multitude of other things that have happened in the last week since our last show. How are you doing tonight, Frank?
I am doing great. It's been actually just been chilling, having a nice chill week, hanging out, having fun with my lovely wife Sarah. We've been playing a lot of Marvel Crisis Protocol recently, and we're getting ready for a little event for that. So yeah, that's it's been great. I'm good.
Oh,
Very
good. Good.
I'm good. I'm good. We're all good
You're
here.
good. You're good. Everybody's good. Okay.
Yeah. How are you?
I am good as well. I have pretty much for the last couple of days slamming my head into the wall building a whole bunch of Grey Knights for a new commission. They're not as bad as Sisters to build, but I still don't like it. But
Really?
no, they're not. They're not that bad. They're not that bad.
I would think with how many decades you've been playing this game for, you'd be a pro at assembling Marines.
Marine. I haven't really. I've played Blood Angels for a little bit, but like Marines aren't a thing. It's usually orcs. But and they're a lot of them are just push fit, except for the new box, which is useless anyway. Anyway, but yeah, a whole bunch of Grey Knights, what is it? Their special character, Brother Cap, or no, the Grandmaster. That's not Drago.
Grandmaster Drago
Yeah,
or
not.
Castellan Crow.
I am doing Crow. I have a Crow. I have a Brotherhood Captain, and the other named Grandmaster, which I can't think of, but he's not Drago, so he's not as cool.
Wait. Grey Knights have more than 2 named characters? When did this happen?
Yes, I think the last book or something. No, 2 books ago probably. Let me look it up on the Handy Dandy Games Workshop app, which I have to say is actually very useful.
Oh yeah, I've been really happy with the app. I hate to say it, but I'm just like, I really don't know if I'm gonna. Oh, Grandmaster
Mr. Voldis, that's it.
Yeah.
I literally just found him. Yeah, that guy. I don't know. He's not Drago. Whatever.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
I hope
He's
Drago gets a new model in this edition.
Yeah, Voldis is isn't he a named, basically, well, I mean,
He's a
I guess
Grandmaster.
yeah, I was gonna say he's a named librarian, isn't he? But, that's,
That for
yeah.
an army full of psychers, it's kind of funny that they don't have a named librarian. It's literally an army of psychers. There's no named librarian.
I technically don't have a named sorcerer in my army.
Aramon?
Aramon's an exalted sorcerer.
That's a sorcerer. Shut up.
No, he's not.
Whatever. Either way. But yes, I have been putting together Grey Knights. I put together a High Elf Dragon, which I will be working to finish this month. Well, next month. Soon. And I have been working on a Dante for a Mr. Dom Metzger out in Pittsburgh at the Fabricator's Forge. Also more Star Wars Shatterpoint. The first 2 like booster boxes, which is Dooku and Obi-Wan.
I just learned the name of the Dooku expansion pack today. I love it. I love it just as much as Hello There, Twice the Pride.
It's Twice the Pride.
That's the name of it. Yeah, Twice the Pride.
Nice.
I actually also have a Star Wars Shatterpoint core box, but I have yet to even crack the plastic on it. Which, I mean, the recurring theme that you're going to hear right now is just way too much Marvel Crisis Protocol. And
I mean, if it's a good game, it's a good game. I mean,
yeah. It's it's just more like the very particular excitement of my wife also playing with us. So this is her first like miniatures battle game that she's gotten into. So she is just in the early stages of plastic crack addiction.
Oh yeah, them early stages, man. Early stages.
So I'm just getting lists of models that I'm being told to buy at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting. I hopefully will not be getting Mila involved in any of that due to that reasoning. Even though technically it's all business expense for me.
The sad part though is because Marvel Crisis Protocol is a skirmish-based game where it's like it's a hero collection game.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll be talking to her. I'm like, oh, right now I'm working on this Convocation and Defenders roster, which is basically just wizards and like Doctor Strange, Clea, Magic, a couple others.
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch, yeah. With the Defenders like Iron Fist, Luke Cage, because Doctor Strange is an HQ choice or a leader choice for both Convocation and Defender, so you can do this weird dual faction thing. Anyway, so I'm looking at the Defenders roster. I'm like, oh, hey, cool. Blade is in there. I can get a Blade model to add to that collection. You know, I'm looking at this. Hulk is in there, which is awesome because my wife likes to play A-Force, and that's led by She-Hulk. So now we can have Hulk versus She-Hulk battles. But I'm going through like, cool, you know, grab a Blade kit, and I'm gonna grab this kit, and then my wife messages me. She's like, "Yo, I'm really into Midnight Suns right now. I want a Blade and a Moon Knight." I'm like, "You're gonna have to fight me for it because I'm also buying Blade, but I'm buying him for Defenders."
Nice.
That is the only rough part is when we are sharing our model collection. So, I love X-Force is one of the factions, and one of the characters that's also shared between my faction and her faction is Domino.
Oh.
And we last time we were roster building. Like, I have to like intentionally build my roster, so I'm just like, do I want to sleep on the couch tonight, or do I?
That's funny. Is there an Illuminati faction?
I don't know if there's an Illuminati one or not.
I would assume they're all leaders, so...
there is a Cabal faction, which would include units like, I think Sin, or characters like Sin, Viper, Red Skull, Ultron, a handful of others. Like, it's one of the larger affiliations. They call them, not factions, but it's one of the larger ones, and that is, there's a lot of names in there. And they do this cheeky thing too, like, because characters can be in different factions or affiliations. Like, you'll start buying like, oh, okay, cool, I'm going to start building Guardians of the Galaxy. And then you realize, you're like, just when you're done with your Guardians of the Galaxy, you're like, I wonder what affiliation is next. Or, you know, maybe I'll go into... You already have like a third to 2/3 of another affiliation, so they create this rabbit hole like, oh, well, I've already got 2/3 of this sub-faction or faction based on me collecting this other faction, so now I gotta buy this faction. So, yeah, they have a very good way of getting you to do model churn in that game. But I have been painting this week. Nothing fantastic. It's just been...
So not the Fantastic Four?
No, not the Fantastic. Actually, I don't think they're a faction. No, Human Torch is the only one I think that is...
Really? They don't have the Fantastic Four as a faction?
No, I don't think they do. No, I definitely know there's no Thing, and there's no Dr. Fantastic. I know there's a Human Torch because it comes with one of the newer Captain America sculpts.
Well, is that the current Human Torch or the original Human Torch who was an android?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
We're getting really, really comic book nerdy in this Warhammer stream right now, and it's fine.
It's a hobby stream first and foremost, sir. I'm gonna guess that. Oh, actually, I just thought about the joke. I think I just figured out why Human Torch and Captain America are boxed together. They're both played by Chris Evans in the movie. Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
Tangent aside. What were we just talking about? Oh yeah. There's no Fantastic Four yet. I'm sure they're on their way. But they do a lot of alternative, like alter ego characters. So right now there are 4 different versions of Spider-Man. 3 of which are Peter Parker, and 1 of which is Miles Morales.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and they're all different. They're all have unique stats and stuff too. Like this Spider-Man is not the same as Amazing Spider-Man, and of course Miles Morales is completely different than the Peter Parker Spider-Man. And there's another Spider-Man model that comes with like this Dr. Octopus, Doc Ock v Spider-Man set, which I don't know if it's the same Spider-Man or not. Just could be an alternative sculpt. But
also, I fixed your picture.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know there was a problem with my picture.
No, I fixed your picture because you're no longer gonna loot that.
Oh.
I figured the joking was done, and we could put up an actual Frank picture.
Oh, I love that. Wherever you got that art from, send it to me.
Pretty sure you sent it to me.
Oh. Well, then send it back to me because I don't remember it. That looks sexy. But so this week so far in terms of just characters I've been painting is again, very fast paint jobs, nothing super fancy, nothing detailed, which is why they're not up on my Instagram because, well, they're just more or less slap chopped. But I got a She-Hulk done, Gamora, Okoye from Wakanda, Crystal, and Angela, who's an Asgardian, Valkyrie, Shuri, also from the Wakanda pack, and I just spray primed like the 2 different Doctor Stranges, a Scarlet Witch. They're sitting at a table in the background waiting for the primer to dry because I use a cheap primer because I ran out of my good stuff. Yep, so that's me. Just painting a lot of MCP this week.
Nice.
Getting ready for a little event before I start getting back into super serious paint mode, and then I'm up till 4 in the morning trying to get a blend perfect.
Super serial.
Mm-hmm. How about you? What have you been painting, aside from just building all the Grey Knights?
I've been working on the Dante. Again, this is for Dom. I have been working on a whole bunch more sisters. I am churning through as many as I can, as fast as I can, when I get this done for our buddy Paul, so he can get in on 10th edition. It wouldn't be a big deal, except they're mostly basic battle sisters, so you kind of want those.
Yeah, one of my first 10th edition games was against some sisters, and, well, we can talk about that later.
But other than that, let me pull up my Instagram here. We got, I've just finished up this Palatine. Now, that picture it focused on the wrong spot, but, yeah, finished her up last week. Got a picture of her up today. This is the lieutenant type character for sisters. I make sure that there's helmets on everything. Now I put up the picture for the Maul DeLoreans that I painted for, once again, for Fabricators Forge. Dom was very excited about these guys. This one is Gar Saxon, the leader. He was the leader, I think. I think it was Gar Saxon. I don't remember the name. But this was the ones that were pretty much ruled over by Lord Maul, or Darth Maul, as people know him. Really love how the red came out on this guy. And this guy. This is just a grunt, more or less. And then this lady, which, funny enough, the kit didn't actually end up coming with the head somehow. So that is Bo-Katan's head. Just painted it a different color. So it pretty much worked out. Then,
I'm glad you said that because when I saw that model on your Instagram, I'm looking at that picture like that looks like Bo-Katan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe did he just paint Bo-Katan in like an alternative color scheme maybe? But now that you say that, like I feel like far less crazy. Still insane, but far less crazy.
Right. And then I put up the night owls that I did. So here is Bo-Katan. Also because I like to put helmets on everybody for the most part. Bo-Katan had her helmet, so she comes with the option of with or without.
Ah, clever. I see what you did there.
And I really like how she came out. The blues really popped on her. I was happy I was able to get because that's all actually on the model. Their symbols on her helmet. So I was happy I was able to get that to come out good enough. And then random.
Was it a raised surface or more of like an engraving, like
more like
recessed?
it was recessed. It was recessed.
Gotcha.
And then one of her grunts.
You did a really good job on the steel. Like it seems really nice and highly polished and very reflective. Was that a particular? Did you have a particular formula that you're using for getting your steel color there? Or?
So usually when I'm trying to highlight like a gunmetal or a steel or something like that, I use most of the time Vallejo metal color, which is they're technically airbrush paints and they are very thin. So
please tell me you're using the aluminum.
The aluminum is the top highlight. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have that right now in my hand. That's my go-to silver color. Fantastic color.
I either use that or I have an old pot of mithril silver, from Citadel that I still have. So I kind of go in between them depending on which one I want to use or which one is closest to my hand. But this was with the chrome. I use it a lot. I use these surprisingly enough in the airbrush a lot. So guess what them Grey Knights are getting.
Yeah, no, I have been not too long ago when we were just chatting in our Discord and I had somebody recommending to me like the silver paints to use.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, sorry, excuse me. The Vallejo metal color aluminum was the color I recommended as being like it's honestly one of the best silver colors I have ever used.
My only problem with them is that they're very thin. So sometimes it's hard to get them on.
They are very thin, but I think they go on wonderfully over just a simple black primer. I've never really had that much trouble with them.
Oh, well, I don't know. I use a cheaper primer, because I have to use so much of it. So it kind of beads off of it. I don't know. Ooh, Donkey Kong is in the chat. No, not pink Grey Knights.
Donkey Kong. Hi, DK. Thanks for joining us and hanging out.
Donkey Kong is here. But yes. I like that a lot. Going over other paints, it works fine. But yes, that is what I used for the top highlights, and I've been getting a lot better with my true metals, and have been trying to. The Dante is coming out. I'll see if I can get another picture of the actual gold on Dante. And then you have the last lady. I did all in blue just to differentiate her a little bit.
All right, I think DK here is going to be leaning into. You are just Donkey Kong now.
Nice. And then I also did however you say this word. It's a Imagifier. No, it's not. There's no R. Either way, the sister's Imagifier. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that statue, even though I mostly dry brushed it, but like it came out really good, so I'm not upset about that.
Yeah, I like how it has more of a bronze feel to it rather than being like a sterling gold or something like that. I think it looks very good.
Yeah, I used the redder like gold medals that I had. I mean, the rest of her looks good. I mean, it's just the standard what their sisters look like, what his sisters look like, but And I really like. It's harder to see, but if you can see the leather, I use that like dark kind of purplish leather for all of his anything that is leather on these girls. Um, and then yeah, I just really like how that statue came out.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. Yeah, it's very readable. You got a nice mix of different yellow and brown hues in there. And what's nice of that is because of because I'm also very big on just dry brushing a lot of my metals, just for simplicity's sake, really. Um, if you were to hit that up with like a yellow ink,
Yeah.
It would pop quite nicely in terms of flip that right into a gold.
Ooh. Okay. Not a bad idea. And then I also completed this guy. Now, this is not the best picture. I was experimenting with my phone for the pictures here, so it didn't come out the greatest. But the Cerastus Knight Castigator. Some of these pictures are better than others. Really like how the sword came out. He wanted it like a bright green and yellow. Well, a bright green. Man, these guys are fun. Now, the base, I actually made it look like he was sinking into the ground, as opposed to when I did his Castellan, where it's just cracking the ground. This one's bigger and heavier, so it's like sinking in to the base.
Yeah, it looks very good.
Trying to get a good... There we go. See how the feet are just like inside the cork? Yeah.
Where do you source your cork from, just out of curiosity? Do you actually buy hobby cork, or do you just find somewhere that you can get like the sheets of it in bulk?
I usually just buy it at Michael's.
Gotcha. Okay.
My future mother-in-law used to be a teacher, so she still gets like a discount and stuff. So.
Gotcha. Riding that discount pony for all it's worth.
Of course, sir. And to show it off, here is what the tabard is looking like for my Dom's Dante so far.
Great. That looks awesome, man. You get such a good job of getting a sense of some micro texture in there.
I really like working with these reds. So these are scale 75.
Yep.
And I've been building it up from the deep red, which has a little bit of a pinkish kind of hue to it, like kind of purplish in there, to their fuchsia, which is just a little bit lighter, and then I mixed a little bit of the painting, the artist's white, ice yellow. Into it to get the final highlights. It needs a couple more, like you were saying, a couple more glazes, but it's almost there.
I think it looks really good, and now that you mentioned that you used an ice yellow, I can definitely see that now, because that red is highlighting up into a very nice magenta-like color, and I think it's great that you did that, because I know so many artists or miniature painters that are afraid to take their red up to like a pink color, and when in reality I think it looks great, and there's really nothing wrong with that at all.
Oh no, and I love the doing this with the making it into like a fuchsia. I really like that color, so I've been trying to do that more and more. I did that. I had to scroll way down, but I did. I'm gonna be doing this for the High Elf Dragon, because they wanted to look like the old Dogs of War unit, Azernil the Dragon Lord. And I'm gonna post a picture of the gold Dante so I can pull that up. Copy image link. Here we go. Paste. Boop.
I apologize if you hear some noises here. I'm rummaging around in one of my little boxes here to pull out some oil paints. I'm gonna mix up some oil washes actually for one of these minis.
Ooh. So here is my the yellow gold for the rest of the model. It still needs a little bit of work. I still want to throw some washes into the recesses, but he's getting there. He's getting there. The wings are going to on his chest and anywhere else in the model are ultimately going to be white. Because I just try to go for, when they don't really give me a scheme or they don't tell me to go nuts, I usually try to go for box art or how GW has it painted. So, well, what was this, DK? What color combos that you hate and would never paint your personal models? Dark blue and bright orange for me. Well, we'll get we'll get to that in a second. That's a good question. But yeah, so like his belt buckle here, that's going to be white on his chest. Any gems are obviously going to be blood red because, blood angels. And I'm going to do the same thing, same kind of color that I did on the tabard here, which I had to finish the front of the tabard, onto his grip. I like to use this color combo a lot, especially with like weapon grips. It works really well for that. But yeah, he's clearly not done yet, but this is a good progress pick for him so far.
Yeah, I agree with what you said before, because I was going to say, like, it looks like I can use a couple more washes, and you said that right before I could, so...
Yeah, I need to define it a little more, then do a very, very... and also, it's not the best lighting, but a very, very small highlight of just, like, mithril silver all along the edges. Or chrome. And, yeah. That is Dante so far. But yes, okay. So, DK, what color combos that you hate and would never paint your personal model? Frank, go. I gotta think.
Chromatic red and chromatic green.
What do you mean chromatic?
So, chromatic is basically, think of your atypical, or your typical Christmas colors.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not want to paint. I tend to avoid those two color combinations. I'll skirt around them because a lot of people. Well, to kind of go back and talk about like one little misconception. A lot of people tend to think back to primary school, primary color wheels, like, red and green are complementary colors, which is why they quote unquote look so good together. That's actually not the case. Red and green are not complementary colors. It's red and I think it's red and cyan, or red and like a turquoise are actually the complementary colors to each other. But when you have a bright saturated red right next, or if you have a high value saturated red right next to a high value saturated green, I think that looks terrible. I think like you might as well just put a Christmas hat on it, or paint your Eldar that way and just call it an elf on a shelf.
And you talk about my jokes.
I know I'm the worst. Now dark blue and bright orange, I would say I would hate that, but I think it would depend on the ratios. I think, like, if I was to picture, I mentioned elves, so I'm thinking of like a Drukhari Raider right now, or like a Kabalite Warrior. I think like a Drukhari Kabalite Warrior with dark blue armor, with some subtle highlights on the edge, with a bright orange as a spot color. Like, I could see that working well. Like, when I say a spot color, like maybe the like those tribal runes that they have, something like that I think would look pretty good, because blue and orange are actually complementary colors. But I think it depends on your value, like, because a dark blue would be, so if you're talking like a saturated low value blue, which would be something like a very deep ultramarine blue, then yeah, I could see that probably not working out so well. But if you're talking like a blue that's nearing a black, with some little bit of an orange pop, I think that would actually work out pretty well. But it's all preferential. If you don't like those colors, no one's saying you have to paint them that way.
It's true. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not sure. I haven't really come across I will say that I have in the past tended to err towards primary colors. Mostly like my orc army which is fitting for orcs because orcs are essentially red and blue, and then all the squigs are yellow. They all have green skin. I know green's not a primary, but they all have green skin. Like, so my Votan are intended to be like a green and tan because I wanted to make them look like Ninja Turtles. But yeah, I don't know if there's any kind of white. I don't whatever and white. I hate white. Like I really don't want to. I will never paint. I will never make a White Scars army that is traditional White Scars colors for myself. I will make it an off-white. I will make it just no white. I would never do a pure white. Pure white goes with literally any color. So like, I'm not gonna. White combined with anything.
I'm the opposite end of that. I think that a well done white with a nice pop of saturated color, I think that looks really good.
I'm not saying it doesn't look good. I don't hate white. I hate painting white.
That's a very fair distinction.
If it was just colors, I don't like desaturated colors. I'm not the biggest. I can respect people who can do it or who do it, but I'm not a big fan of actually doing the grim dark. I like saturation. I like lots of color. I like things to pop. I use desaturated colors when I need to, and when it's called for, but I just don't like drab, dark. It's not a style that I usually go for. So, like, a grimdark kind of combination,
I can't say that I'm a huge fan of the grimdark style, at least not for army painting. I can appreciate it if someone was doing, like, a diorama or even, like, an entry into a painting contest.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to have a single miniature where you can frame that model correctly, because most grimdark models are also going to be, they're usually going to have a little bit of a pop of saturation, like Trevelyan with his Black Templar, grimdark Black Templars with the bright red eye lenses.
Yeah.
You're going to have some saturation in there, but like if you I think for a grimdark style, you need to be able to frame it correctly for it to work. And across an army, I don't think it works too well because it tends to be very muddied and doesn't have the greatest readability.
Oh, hang on, I know all good. So this is I just pulled this up. This was a guy I was looking at. This is fairly grimdark. It's not a finished model, but it's but this has the right amount of pop. This Black Templar. But you see, this isn't like my style. I realize it's Black Templar, so it's black, so it's not gonna be. But I like making it brighter colors and stuff. Yes, he does. I will definitely say that, Drunken Veteran. This guy does a lot of great stuff. I like him a lot. Let me find. Let's see if the other names are up here. Oh yeah, Angel Heraldas, or is that what his name is? Yeah, Heraldas.
Yes, Angel Heraldas. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy, I like him a lot. I love his Dante. This Dante that he did, just insanity. Because that's non-metal metallics.
Oh yeah, I've been watching the step-by-step on that one.
Him. Who was the other one? I got a couple more that I really like to look at. Maverick Paints. Yes, that one's the other one. Though he hasn't really posted on Instagram in a while. He's been doing a lot of TikTok and I believe YouTube. So he hasn't had a Instagram in a bit. Um, excuse me. But he is another one. I'll make sure I put all those people into the description. But yes, his gruesome dismemberment. Actually, I'll find that real quick.
The first artist that you showed, he started showing off the avatar that he had painted.
Yeah.
I love watching that one video with him working that avatar, especially when he's doing the staff work. That's a great combination of using two different types of paints.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm pretty positive he's filling those runes in with white oil paint.
I think so too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
Oh no, I was just gonna talk about who I pulled up.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh yeah, this is Maverick Paints, and this is his his battle damage and or literally right after the shot has been taken, Marines is hilarious. I love these. I love his stuff here. Again, he hasn't been posting too much new stuff on here that I've seen. I realize some of these might be. This was like a week ago, I think. No, this wasn't very long ago. These are pinned. That's why. Yeah. Now he's got this one up. But these are. I love how he does it, and he I believe he started a YouTube or something because he does describe how to do that. Also, everyone always remember to drill out your bolters. It's important. Always drill out your bolters. I did that for all the Great Knights. My customer didn't ask me; it was just bothering me.
I think it depends on what I'm painting. If it's an art, if I'm painting like 20, because I have to probably paint like another 10 rubrics up very soon. They're getting black. I'm just painting them as black. I don't want to sit there and drill out those tiny holes. Maybe if I get that electric pin drill that's been showing up a lot on YouTubers for sponsors, like Ninjon.
Ninjon like swears by that thing.
Yeah, I might pick one of those up at some point in time to bother drilling out all my bolter holes.
Mm-hmm.
But I've tried doing it once with a hobby drill, just a standard hand crank one, and
I've also found that I went out, and this was just for general like house stuff, but I got like a DeWalt set of drills that were like on sale, and I use these a lot for drawing out the models. Honestly, they're like a little bit sharper, a little bit nicer, and they don't exactly dull the plastic. So, just a suggestion as well. Yeah. So I mean that's pretty much what we've been working on. Let's take a look at the good old Warhams community. See what we got. First thing. Oh no, I closed it. No, I closed the thing. I don't know what it was anymore. Oh, I'm upset. We're going to. First of all, they've been doing the 40 years of Warhammer thing, and this is probably the most recent model they've put up here. Is they put up the Angron as a Primarch model, and man, I remember when this came out, and it hurts. And then they compare all three Angron models that have come out.
Oh god, I remember that old Angron model. I wish Magnus got a good model for the Horus Heresy release. I just can't get behind his Horus Heresy.
You don't like his model?
No, I really don't like his model. No, I think it looks very stiff. I don't know. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I like these 40 years of Warhammer things they've been putting up. It's like one a week, I guess. And seeing the progression of the Angron models up to now, but he gets punked by the Lion, so whatever.
Well, to be fair, I think everyone gets punked by the Lion a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. And then we have the new rumor engine for the 27th, which was yesterday. It's looking like orcs. Chat, back me up. Looks like orcs. Just agree with me. Just nod and agree. It is it's definitely orcs.
Sure, it's orcs. Definitely orcs. Yep.
Now, if I were to pick another race it could be for, it's probably guard.
Seeing as how it looks like some sort of a bunker, probably.
I could see this being guard. I could see it being Gene Stealer cult. I don't know what. Maybe No, it's not sisters. Otherwise, it's definitely not Age of Sigmar. There's grenades. There's frag grenades. Ratlings. Huh, that's interesting. I mean, still guard. But yeah, ratlings. I could see ratlings.
That looks like a pretty large display base.
Oh yeah, maybe it's a special edition base. Yarick? Yarick confirmed.
I would say maybe they're gonna do drop a little Yarick on us, since they never actually confirmed whether or not he was actually dead or not.
Right? Because if he is dead, sad gas noises.
I just imagine that to be a bunch of wheezing.
It sounds like angry gas noises, only not as loud. But yes, it's definitely probably guard. Honestly, I don't know what else this could be. It might be a special edition guard model, unless this is like a trader guard, which I guard still. They're very. It looks too disorganized to be any sort of Space Marine or Chaos Space Marine. It's definitely not Votan. It looks too low tech for any of the other alien races. And I mean, there is the off chance it's orcs, because I mean they will use Imperial stuff, but I would say also that it looks like that's a chicken and a pie. It's ratlings. This top part. Right above these two grenades, look at it. The rounded.
It's like a. Oh, yeah.
That's a chicken.
It's a turkey.
Yeah, that's a turkey. And below that, underneath these, is a pie. And below that is a drink shaker.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now that you define those shapes there, yep. I'm feeling the rattling vibe.
Like. What?
So I just gotta say something that I just did, which was so silly that I can't believe I actually made the mistake and did this. I had painted a bunch of. I'd filled in this one character. She's got painting Angela from MCP. And she's got these living ribbons, which have these symbols all carved. Like they're just like filled out with all these runes, and they're just covered in them. So I did this thing where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make these, get a little bit of a glow effect, and I filled in all of the runes with white oil. I'm like, all right, that was super fast, super easy, great. Now I need to put some color in there. So let me mix up a red oil wash to put some color in there. And you mix a red oil wash by putting paint thinner in there. So I mixed up my wash. I'm like, cool, let's go ahead and put this red oil wash into these. Where did all my white go? Because the paint thinner actually removed the white wash I put in them.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Yep. That was smart of me. Super smart.
Slow clap.
Yep. So now I'm rummaging through trying to find my acrylic inks so that I can go ahead and fill these in. and not actually destroy the work that I did.
That's funny. Now another thing I wanted to go over. Where is it? I just found a drop. This is like the one new model they released this week, which is the new Nurgle Lord for AOS, which is harkening back to an old mounted Nurgle Lord from Warhammer Fantasy, and I love it. I just couldn't find any better pictures of it.
Oh yeah, that does look great.
It is. I used to see the metal old one all the time. It's still a great model, but I just, oh god, I love this thing. It's so it's perfect. I want to just use it in 40K. Let me find mounted Nurgle Lord. Here it is. I found the old one.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely remember seeing that model a lot.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this was and this is just a new take on it, and I love it.
Hey Brian, actually, what's funny is I don't know if you're in the hall still for third day of ACO while Derek and stuff are playing, but during the AOS award ceremony, one of the AOS players tried to get a 40K sucks chant going on in the hall, and I was just like, that is super cringy. They don't understand the hate. I don't understand the hate. Whenever I talk to a 40K player about AOS, all I hear is like, man, their models are so cool. I wish our models looked as good as theirs. And you talk to AOS players and they're just like, 40K sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody pissed in their cornflakes or something. They don't like 40K players. I don't know why. I don't think we're particularly hostile towards them. I get that there's always kind of crappy people, but like, I don't know.
Sorry.
Yes, a whole hall full of horribly uncoordinated white guys trying to dance. This will be great. And then Brian jumping out of nowhere, probably out dancing everybody. But whatever.
Also, just want to say congrats to Brian on a great ACO finish. It's a shame that you did you end up finishing like 9th place and you just missing the cutoff for the top 8? Guess we'll give him time to respond,
but he did do very well.
Yep, he said, "Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you did excellent, man. I was bummed out when we were waiting for checking on the results, and I think we were down at the Bobby Flay Burger place, and I was just like, wait. Why is Brian not in the top 8? Why is Brian not in the top 8? And I messaged Derek, and he told me what happened. I'm just like, oh, it sucks. He got bumped out due to strength of schedule.
Oof. Oh well. Brian is still a very good player, though. He's an incredibly good player.
I mean, you finished 9th, and I think I finished like 71st or something like that, which I was still happy with, considering the fact I was playing T-Zones. But
and Mark from our team, Mark Benning, he got like, what did he get? Like 14th?
Somewhere in there. I know he was top 20.
Yeah, he was up there.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it, bud.
It was a very pretty display board. We're just gonna keep saying this. But yeah. So this yes, I love this Nurgle Lord, and I do not understand the hate from any Age of Sigmar people. But well, also fun fact: apparently, Age of Sigmar people who have only ever played Age of Sigmar hate people who miss old fantasy. That is a thing I've discovered, and I don't know. I mean, I get that old fantasy players are usually cantankerous about them blowing up the world, but still. But whatever.
I don't know. The only thing I can take a guess at is that this is just a wild guess. Is that maybe there's a little bit of they don't want to divide the player pool, maybe? That's the only thing I can think of. Anyway.
Whatever. All right, so I think we're done now, like model-wise, considering GW really isn't dropping anything this week, which is understandable considering they just dropped, an edition of 40K. But hey, you get the new nice new Nurgle Lord there. And Saturday is the preview for like Age of Sigmar, Old World, and all the other like fantasy themed games from Games Workshop. So. We'll have a bunch to talk about that next week.
I love how they titled it the not Warhammer 40K stream.
We're like, okay, we're sorry. We concentrated on them for a bit. Our bad, guys. But, I mean, that allows us to get into some more gaming stuff, honestly, because, man, 10th edition is now in full swing. And I am enjoying list building. I haven't gotten to play since ACO really, but I am liking this new edition a lot. And I'm seeing things that need to get like probably toned down, but otherwise, in general, I like the edition.
So, just out of curiosity, if the people that are hanging out with us, what armies are you going to be playing with for 10th edition, or what armies are you planning on starting off with?
And why is it orcs?
Yeah, list building is super easy, but I've also found it to be super...
Good evening. Ulfgar the Awful. Nice.
I found list building for 10th edition to be super easy, of course, but it's also sometimes really, really frustrating.
Oh, definitely. I have found it annoying to get really, really close to like 2,000 points. And then you got like 40 points left and you're like, I've used all of the upgrades and I can't, it's not granular enough to fill in. Like, I don't mind so much when I'm at like 1995, but if I'm sitting at like 1970, like,
Yeah, that's been happening a lot. Like I've completely gutted whole lists when I'm like, I've got 30 points left over. I've already got like 3 upgrades in. I can't find points to, like, usually when I was list building back in 9th, they'd be like, okay, cool, perfect. That's just enough points for a single spawn. Yeah, sad face for the Death Guard. Oof, they are in a rough spot.
Sad Nurgle noises all around, as Nurgle demons are not exactly great either. I mean, they're better than Death Guard, but like low bar. And same thing with AdMech. Poor Ad. I mean, I can't. I'd say poor AdMech, but man,
actually,
beginning of 9th stuff. Whew.
AdMech is probably, I think, the army that's in the worst spot because they have an army trait that literally benefits their opponents.
Yep.
Which is insanity. Like, oh, you make me take a battle shock test, which, for the most part, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And especially since it's an out of phase battle shock. Or are you gonna make me take a mortal wound? Sure, I'll take the mortal wound. Hey, guess what? I have these rules that now trigger on me being below starting strength, like sisters. You just gave them all +1 to hit.
Or you play Dark Angels, and oh man, here comes all the bonuses for battle shock.
Like, oh boy, yeah, that was not a very well thought out mechanic. So DK's going with Knights,
Dark Angels, and World
Eaters.
Sorry.
He says that's okay. We're saying the same thing. Knights also. So when you say Knights also, DK, you're referring to they get some sort of benefit for getting damaged? I haven't. I've played against Knights once in 10. I can't say I'm super familiar with them though.
I was gonna say I haven't delved into them. And Ulfgar looks like he's going to be doing Death Guard, once they aren't terrible, and Space Wolves / World Eaters. Nice. I do like World Eaters. Their lottery isn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. Just out of curiosity, Ulfgar, is it true that if the World Eater player yells Yahtzee, you need a run?
Oh, nice. Okay, DK.
There you go. Yeah. So, again, just such a funky mechanic that their army trait can actually just benefit their opponent. There's some really wacky stuff in 10th that I don't understand how it made it through. Generally speaking, though, I mean, I think to quote, I don't know if anyone's seen the video from Bricky. I'm just gonna quote this, but like I think he described it pretty best. A shitty beach house with a great view. You still got a beach house, and you're on a good foundation. You got that beach house. It's just ugly as sin.
Oh yeah, towering's a bit much. Um, and then Eldar, just Eldar. We're just gonna say Eldar because, uh,
I'm gonna go on the. No, I do own an Eldar army. They're not my main. They're not my mainstay. So you can choose to look at this as being a biased perspective, but I think if they can fix a couple of things and not that many things, I think Eldar are fine. Because not fine, but like the Wraith Knight's a problem. I think the Wraith Knight's more of a problem, more to do with towering than it is with their Strands of Fate mechanic.
I also just think their Strands of Fate mechanic is a bit much.
I think it could probably use a tweak in terms of being only maybe using the Strands of Fate once per unit per phase,
or just not affect more or devastating wounds.
Honestly, I'm still okay with that.
I am. I'm sure you would be.
No, listen, man. I'm planning on going into this with my Thousand Sons, and like, yeah, I don't want to have a Wraith Knight throwing 2 or 4 or 66 mortals at me. I just don't. I just don't think it's. I think to make that happen, you are front loading so much. Me and a certain playtester we know were talking about this, and he, like I said, I just don't see dice dumping as being a viable strat. Yeah, it may work, but once you've dumped all those dice, hey, you're just sitting there, and if it doesn't work, you're in a lot of trouble. Because and also everyone's focusing on the Wraith Knight because it's the big thing, towering with the ability to be able to dump all those mortal wounds. Yeah, it's very scary. I'm not saying it's very powerful or even that it's not a bit overpowered, but it's
also too cheap.
Yeah, that could be the other thing too. Is they could easily bump that. I think if they bump that up from like 370 to somewhere like around the 420-ish range.
5.
Nah.
5.
Nah. Because honestly, like if you think like every time if they bumped it up by like 50 points, that just completely eliminates another unit entirely from the list. That in a game that's already pretty small.
I don't know.
Like, I mean, if people were running 3 of them. That's like, all of a sudden 1 less tank or 1 less fire prism or something. Fire prisms, I think, are actually very undercosted.
Yeah, they are. A lot of that army is, honestly, from what it seemed like. Again, I haven't played it yet, but like just looking at things in that army, what's bad in that army? Corsairs, okay. But yeah, either way, you are focusing on your Thousand Sons, of course. Just play a Warhound, only 1,100 points, and they made it 1,100 points, so you couldn't play 2. Because if they were 1,000 points, they'd play 2. And I'm primarily playing my Orcs. I'm going to sit on my Votan until they are good again, and I am actually thinking about starting Demons.
Oh God, yeah, I saw your flying circus list that you're posting in our Discord. I would love for that to actually be a thing and potentially to work.
Yeah, I mean, Be'lakor solves all problems, so
You know what else solves a lot of problems? 30 Desolators.
Yeah, You still can't target them if you're outside of 18.
I guess that'll be the one saving grace. I'm actually retweaking one of my T-Sons lists just to try and see if I can work with that a bit myself, just to try and see if I can get a sorcerer in or two that actually does that exact same thing.
Yeah, my big problem right now though is that Nurgle doesn't do good things. So I would really like to paint up my own great and clean one, but yeah, Nurgle's just not good. And I'm not a fan of that.
So, how many games of 10th edition have you played so far?
2.
All right. And what have you played?
I played against World Eaters and I played against Dark Angels. This was with my orcs. I know I'm playing with a limited base. It's just all 3 other gods are just superior from what I've seen.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just actually asking you, like, so far, what has been your experience?
So yeah, I've played against World Eaters who pretty much charged straight at me, and I could do nothing. He went first, and I played against Dark Angels, which I just kind of put like 80 boys in the center of the field and bullied him, and he couldn't really do much. It was 60 boys, but also a big unit of Squig Hog boys, which with a knob on Smash a Squig in them, and they are, whoo! I really like that unit. It's expensive, but man, they hit like a truck. Ulfgar, it's so sad Mortarion can't even reliably make it over a man average size ruin. Yeah, Mortarion's just, and he hits like a limp noodle for a Primarch.
I thought it was, when I was first reading the Mortarion stack card, I was just like, wait, one of his auras is just a lieutenant aura? Like, wait, how did that even, what?
Right?
Like, wow.
Way to go, G-Dub.
That's something right there.
I don't think they were even on the roadmap, so they're not coming anytime soon.
Yeah, so far I think, like, I don't know enough about AdMech to be able to comment on them. Being more chaos focused, but
I have not heard any good things from anybody about AdMech.
Yeah, well, once I read the article talking about how their army trait is actually of benefit to some opponents, and that it's that bad, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's
yeah.
Part of me gets very confused when Games Workshop creates mechanics that seemingly punish people for wanting to play their game.
Yeah.
I mean,
punished for the pandemic. But yeah, I mean, we could go on all night about how AdMech and Nurgle just kind of got punched for Nurgle for no reason. But yeah, I am looking forward to demons. I want to paint up my own Be'lakor. I have a whole bunch of Tau that I'm going to politely donate to the local store, Rogue Trader, if anybody is in it, because they will buy your old models, give you credit, and I'm going to get my demon army that way.
So you're not donating as much as you're selling it?
Yeah. We'll have a trade. Go with that.
I guess technically if you say that you donated it, you can try and claim a tax write-off.
I could.
I'm kidding. Don't do that. That'd be tax.
That's federal crime. It's fine.
So you said that you played against World Eaters and Dark Angels. I'm assuming I know who both of the players are.
Yes. We were at ACO when it was George and Kyle.
It was George and Kyle. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was. I assumed the Dark Angels was Kyle. I wasn't sure if the World Eaters was going to be George or Nolan.
Oh yeah. No, it was George. Nolan was still playing. And And there is a spicy combo there, Matt. I have been looking into stuff. Zinch, honestly, has been taking catches my eye first as one of the better gods, but I do like Korn, and I'm not opposed to Slanesh. So I have some old Seeker models that I want to use as well.
Pretty sure like Shalaxi Hellbane just makes it into every demon list at this point.
No, she doesn't need to. Not if you have run like Kairos or something. You run Kairos. Be'lakor is literally in every one. It's Be'lakor. You can do Be'lakor, Kairos, and another Lord of Change, and that's a good one. The Demon Prince one I posted is apparently pretty good. And what was the other one? Hang on. I made another one with like, the Red Master on Blood Throne is really good. I made another one with a bunch of Bloodthirsters. But yeah, there's a lot of variance in the demons, I think. And it's a lot more fun, and it's a lot bigger. There's a lot more variance in play, I think, than the current orcs. So I kind of want to play. I kind of want to mess around with demons. Plus, I have a lot of classic models I want to use. I have a bunch of old flamers that I want to make into a unit. The metal ones that were from like 5th edition or 6th edition fantasy.
So you think? Are you feeling that demons are going to be the main focus for you then for 10th edition to start off with, or?
I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take me to build them up. Then again, I can't really play too much in the coming months, but they are something I've been wanting to do because I love the models. Again, I am sorry that I'm very upset that I cannot really do Nurgle as much as I want to, because I had so much fun painting a Guo a couple years back, but I am excited to paint up the models and build the models. I loved painting Be'lakor. That was a lot of fun for my one commission, and I would just straight up be excited to play demons. Now, am I forgoing my orcs? Hell no. They are my babies. They will still probably be my primary, trying to find the Be'lakor, tournament army at the very least, because, they're painted. Here it is. But, poor lighting. But, and of course there is the Dark Angel in there. But yeah, I would look forward to. Plus, I have an Imperial army. I have 2 Xenos armies, 3 technically if you want to count the Tau that I'm going to get rid of, and then I don't have a Chaos army. So I'm thinking demons.
Very cool. So over the past weekend, I had a chance to play against a Knight army, and I had a chance to play against a Sisters player. The Sisters player, unfortunately, he was just returning back. He was on a long hiatus from the game, so that was more learning basics in terms of getting back into things for him.
Mm-hmm.
But Sisters definitely don't hit as hard as they used to.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
I was running my Magnus list, and I had Celestine, a full squad of Zephyrim, and an Ephrael Stern, and the elf's name was like Kaganfindel or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had all of those charged Magnus, and I think he lost like a wound. Maybe a couple of wounds really, but like the sheer amount of dice that he threw at me, it was just like, okay, well, I, uh, yeah, it was just not a lot of damage because
Eh,
everything on there was just wounding me on sixes.
it was emotional damage.
I think for him it was. Um, but so again, it was just one little thing. So I really don't want to pass any comments or be making it seem like I'm saying oh sisters suck or anything like that. But
Oh
I
no,
was
no.
just they definitely lost a lot of their punch, which makes me feel bad for one or two sisters players that we know. But the night game was interesting. Uh, I it was tough. Towering is something that you just have to deal with. Thankfully, I was prepared for it, and right at the start of the game, I'm like, nope, Magnus is not on the table. Magnus got reserved, so that way he didn't get shot by 3 knights in one turn, including one of which was a Knight Castellan. Um, but it actually went well. The Mutalith Vortex Beast is very tanky. Didn't do a lot of damage in the game, but he was very tanky. It took like 3 knights worth of shooting to take one down, and then when he started trying to go into the other one, just a bunch of hot 5-up invulnerable saves stopped him cold. So
Nice.
very happy with that. And I do have to say, and if he ever oh wait. I think I figured out who DK is. DK, did I play you over the weekend? Because I just realized Knights, Dark Angels, World Eaters.
Is that Dom?
I think that's Dom.
Uh,
I think DK is Dom. Now I just realized it just clicked in. Knights, Dark Angels, World Eaters. So Dom, if this is you, and I think it is, I'm very sorry for what I'm about to say, but I think one of the best moments was when, the worst unit he had his entire list was the Knight Castellan. The Knight Castellan almost did nothing the entire game.
he's just big and
And
scary.
it was honestly the most disappointing performing unit that he had. The Armigers did great. The Crusader, I'm sorry, I don't remember the names for the Imperial version, but the one that has the battle cannon, that battle cannon is ridiculous. Oh, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Hi,
he's out of
Dom.
the list.
Yeah. We were talking about that. The Knight Castellan was so disappointing. But his one is it a Knight Crusader or a Knight Valiant that has the rapid fire battle cannon, Dom? If you could let me know in the
Crusader.
chat, I'd appreciate
It's Crusader.
it. It's a Crusader. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Gallant has the plasma thing
Gotcha.
that Canis Rex has.
And again, sorry for bringing up this moment, but I think the funniest thing was when he got so excited. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna fire that volcano lance at Magnus." I'm like, "Uh huh." And then he shot it. He hit. He wounded. I'm like, "Cool." Throw up my 4-up invulnerable save. Up, I failed it. I'm gonna spend 5 Cabal points to go ahead and use the strat for free and just flip that into a 0.
Oh, the Valiant is the harpoon. I'm thinking Gallant. Sorry. Whatever with your nightly things.
So,
also, here's that Guo that I did. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, good.
Oh no, I have the Guo up that I did. That's all.
Yeah. I love it actually. Oh, it's such a wonderful illustrative style about it.
Oh, the Guo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot. This was for Danny. Out in practically
Colorado.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Where's he live? He's like Nebraska or something now. Midwest.
Oh.
Then he healed.
Yeah, I know you're talking
Oh,
about.
okay. Oh, he's in Colorado now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Colorado.
Oh.
Or no, one of the Dakotas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's in practically Canada.
Yeah, I think he's in North Dakota. But if anyone is considering or playing Thousand Suns, they're like, I don't know if I should put Magnus in my list. Run Magnus.
Yeah, yeah. If you are doing that, please just play Magnus.
Magnus is so incredibly difficult to remove. Um,
He's not as cool of a model as the other two, but like still.
hey now,
What?
Magnus is the best Primarch, and he did nothing wrong.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
welcome
yes.
to the welcome to the cult of deception.
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah. PM drone photography. TayJayPaints is best.
Oh, I think this is your buddy.
Oh, is that Paul? That's Paul. Probably Celestine, Paul, honestly. Celestine came out real good. I love how she came out. And she won a contest for me. They had a painting contest over at Rogue Trader, and I was just like, well, I have her. Let's put her in. One. I like her. Also, the Hospitaler. I love how the Hospitaler and the what is this lady? The Dialogus came out. I love how the Dialogus, and I love the like dioramic base that the Hospitaler is on. I had a lot of fun actually painting her. But yeah, no, probably Celestine, because Celestine came out so cool. But yeah, anyway, I am liking 10th edition.
What's the worst?
The worst one?
Yeah, he asked you what the best was, and now he also asked you which one was the worst.
Okay. That one.
You just can't say
I had to scroll
white.
through. Yeah, I had to scroll through because there was a bunch. They came out great. I'm gonna just go with Battle Sisters. Regular Battle Sisters have been the bane, I think. Just because it's the kind of the same model over and over. The Sacrosands weren't bad. They're at least a little bit individual, but yeah, I think the probably the basic Battle Sisters were the biggest pain. Because the other ones actually have the other models I did, like the Seraphim and stuff, have like some fun gold on them and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's the basic Battle Sisters. I had a lot of fun on the Rhino too. The Rhino is one of my favorites. The Rhino came out real good. You wouldn't think that for like the basic ass Rhino, but that one was a lot of fun. Well, both of them. There was two. And then this thing, the what is this thing called again? Exorcist. The Exorcist. This came out really good too.
It's been so long since I handled a metal Exorcist when I was playing against the Sisters player of the weekend, and he had an old one. I went to go pick it up to hand it to him, and I'm just like,
oh god.
Oh wow, okay.
You just put that thing in a sock, and you just got a deadly weapon. Same thing with one of them old metal box knots.
Did you know the fun bit of trivia concerning the Exorcist?
Well, the what her fingers are ready to play?
Yeah.
I forget what it is.
I think it's the actual Exorcist theme song from the
Yeah. It's the first notes of the Exorcist theme song. If you look at their fingers, I think I actually have a picture of the fingers. Because I tried to get a picture of the girl in there. Yeah, there you go. I have it. You can't really see it very well, but the fingers are out to get the first notes of the Exorcist theme. And so you know, Paul, I am currently working on. It looks like I have more Battle Sisters, the Sister Superiors for the Repentia, and looks like I got Heavy Flamer girls getting ready, and more Battle Sisters, and the Mortifier. Honestly, the Mortifiers are becoming the most annoying because there's so much stuff on them, but the Mortifiers and Penitent Engines. But otherwise, yeah. But yeah, sisters. I think sisters are just gonna have to play different there, Frank. I don't know. They seem okay, but yeah, they definitely don't hit like they used to because you don't have Bloody Rose.
Yeah, I'm not. I think also they're one of the armies that get impacted the most by the squad size changes because I think they're minimum 10 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big. I think that's a big change for them.
I think their minimum and their maximum 10. Like I think they just come in 10s. I had to look it up.
Well, yeah, I guess we do have the ability to look that up super fast now, don't we? And I think also, well, they're also in a very tough spot because of just how
yeah, it's only 10.
What's that?
They can only have 10. It's there's no more, no less. You can't have the 15 girl squads anymore.
And now that we're back in also and I still can't believe that we're back in the situation where we're dealing with a strong artillery meta again. That really hurts them too.
Oh yeah, because toughness 3. Everything wounds them on 2s. It's great.
Yeah. And if it doesn't wound them on 2s, it's wounding them on 3s with a reroll.
They get bonuses for dying, but they die a little too easily. But yeah, how about everybody else? Anybody else out there? What armies you looking at? What are you looking at for 10th? I mean we do have some army panic at the moment, but I think in a couple months everything should narrow down, just filter its way out. Hopefully they hit Eldar pretty hard. That's not me saying anything on how powerful they are. I just don't like Eldar.
Me, on the other hand, I'm actually looking very forward to fielding my dream Eldar army, which is just I love Wraiths. I love Wraith Guard, Wraith Blades, Wraith Lords, Wraith Seers. I do own a Wraith Knight, but not the shooty version. I own a melee one, but still looks very good. So I just love the fact that my Wraith army is actually looking to be particularly good, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, Paul. They used to 5 to 20. Now it's just 10. Only 10. That's all you get is 10. Sorry. I am very much looking forward to getting these demons going. I want to incorporate a whole lot of classic models into the army. I have a lot of old metal demons that I want to use. Not the greater demons. I'm going to use the new ones because the size difference. But I have an old Bellicor. There's a Demon Prince, and it's metal too. I want to get a new Bellicor. I want to get so many things. Like I said, I had the old Flamers. I have old Seekers. Not like the cool looking old Seekers with like the boobs and stuff. No. The big crab claw. The big crab claw ones. The like derp ones from like the early 90s. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. So I want to use them. And I have a bunch of the old bloodletters, not the ones with the axes, like not the cool ones, the old ones with the swords, and not the old ones with the swords that look like the current ones with the swords, the old ones with the swords where they're just kind of like, eh.
Wow, like what would be the scale difference though? Almost, like, are you gonna have?
No, they're all about the same size.
Really? Okay.
All the lesser demons are about the same size.
Oh, okay.
If anything, the Seekers are probably a little bigger. The old Seekers. And the Flamers are about the same size, but I'll have to get new for anything else that I don't really have. Like horrors.
I've got some old flamer models if you ever find yourself needing some.
Ooh. I would love the old horror models, the old pink and blue horrors.
I
I
used
love those with like the tube fingers.
I used to have some old metal pink horrors. I don't know what I ever did with them though. I can't remember.
I
But if
got
I ever seem to find them, I'll let you know.
Oh yes, I love the old models. I got a bunch off of Facebook Marketplace a while ago because I was like, I find stuff for cheap on there and I flip some. But like, I found models in there because I was intending on trying to rebuild up my Warhammer Quest, like original Warhammer Quest models. And I was going to use the old like fourth edition fantasy demon models, but I haven't been able to get horrors yet, and that's what I want is horrors. But I got a bunch of seekers, so yeah, I am very excited for demons. I got a lot of plans. I can make custom demon princes, which is the thing I'm excited about. Yeah. And the greater demons. I just want to paint the greater demons. And I wish Nurgle was good. I want happy beasts of Nurgle. They're puppies. They have like the intelligence of dogs. That's literally like their fluff, and I love it. They just want to make you happy. And by doing so, they might just land on you because they want to sit in your lap, but they're massive monsters, so they crush you.
Oh, then that and then the instant death from all of the diseases that they're carrying on them.
Oh yes, but they are not doing it intentionally. They are just happy like dog creatures that want to love you, but they kill you.
I think what's so sad about them too, from a lore perspective, is that when no one's around to be their friend, they
turn into plague drones.
They turn into plague drones. Yeah.
I hate that Nurgle's not that good. Oh God, they make me so happy. Oh, that and I just want to paint up the Scrivener and the Sloppity Bile Piper, but you know, which is definitely the best name of any unit in Warhammer ever. Don't at me. I'm right, and you know it.
I'm actually going to disagree with you, and I'm going to disagree with you in a way that I think you're going to agree with me. I think the best unit name in 40k, I think you'd have a tough time beating Boomdakka Snazwagon.
Listen, the Boomdakka Snazwagon is great and all.
Did you really just pronounce it like James Workshop?
Yes. Is great, and I love it, but I mean, the Sloppy Bile Piper also has an awesome model that goes along with it. And the Boomdakka Snazwagon is cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm an orc guy. But man, Sloppity Bile Piper is just... The guy, hang on, I'm pulling him up. Pulling him up. Just gotta look at how happy he is.
Wait, we're talking purely about model names here at this point in time. You can't just be like... You can't start, going
fair,
into the model.
Fair.
Because I still think that I will die on this hill and say that the Boomdakka Snazwagon is the best named unit in 40k. Probably followed up by
Sloppity Bile Piper.
No, I'm actually gonna go with another orc unit. The
Rocket
Shock
Truck.
Jump Track.
Really?
No, Rocket Truck's.
I was gonna say you're really gonna go with a Shock Jump before then. I mean, the Shock Jump does have a nice Back to the Future reference in it, but like.
And then, yeah, the Sloppity Bile Piper would be like definitely in the top. Let's say top 5, just to hedge my bets a bit.
I just like saying Sloppity Bile Piper, and look at how happy that Nurgling is. But yeah. Either way, I'm sad about Nurgle, but still. There's lots of corn shenanigans you can do. There's lots of obviously Slaanesh, because Shalaxi is nuts, and then lots of Zeech stuff. So but yeah, I can't wait. Lots of people getting in. Lots of friends gonna get into 10th edition. I can't wait to really start playing games. Um, and getting into it. 10th is going to be fun, whether we like it or not.
Sounds like a threat.
It is. Um,
You're gonna enjoy 10th.
better enjoy 10th. At least until Old World comes out.
We okay. Now I finally found something that we can definitely disagree on.
I don't know what you're talking about. Old World's going to be amazing.
uh, I, I can't say that I'm excited about that one.
You should be. It's going to be awesome.
Well, um, so with the little bit of 10th that you've played so far, what do you think is possibly your favorite bit?
Oh God, I haven't played enough, and it's already been 2 weeks since I've played. How about you? Let's Uno reverse this.
Um, okay, so my favorite bit about 10th so far. Um,
Mandatory fun.
okay, so this is I like this is what I like about the edition in general, but I'm not too sure I like it in the sense of how it might fit with competitive play. Um, the unit building and the ability to specialize the unit to do kind of what you want it to do is much easier. Like I've never felt that actually constructing and building an army has been this easy. But I think it does unfortunately I think it creates a little bit too many rock paper scissors builds. Like okay, so everyone's kind of, there's the panic over Eldar we were talking about before, and all this other stuff. Towering in general is a big issue. I think because of those popularity in certain armies and certain builds, specifically towering and also Space Marine Desolator spam, because yeah, it's great that Eldar can possibly dump, have one unit dump 66 mortal wounds. Okay, sure. But I still think that doesn't compare. I don't think that compares very well to an army that can, if you have like an altering army with Gilliman surrounded by 30 Desolators, that's just here's 30 strength 10 AP -2 D6 damage shots coming at you at your 2 units that I have double Seals of Oath on, or double Oath of Moments on. And because of the popularity of some of those builds, like I have an anti-towering, artillery spam build right now, but it forces me to play units that are characters that I just really don't want to play. So I think that's probably I think that's just 40k in general though too, is that sometimes the meta forces you into stuff that you just don't want to deal with or play.
Yeah. No, that's normal.
But list building, army construction, everything else is fantastic. I have far more viable builds now than I have ever had before with my Thousand Suns Codex. So I am
That's
biased.
great.
I am looking at my Thousand Suns. That's my lens that I'm looking at things through. Same thing for Eldar. Eldar have far more viable builds that you could actually field and play what you want, as opposed to like if you're not running Hail of Doom, you're not doing it right. But I think my least favorite thing is they still kept true line of sight rules. I really think that they really would need to go back through and figure out how to abstract that correctly and move into a system that feels a bit better, more fair. Like I'm going to use Marvel Crisis Protocol as an example, where they have a categorical based terrain system where if you have a character of a certain size, they have size categories like for example, typically a human sized character is Category 2, whereas larger characters like She-Hulk and Hulk are Category 3. Rules are real simple. If the entire base is hidden behind if you're a Category 2 creature and your entire base is hidden behind a Category 3 size terrain, you can't see them.
Mm.
That's it. Doesn't matter that they have wings or a spear, or like She-Hulk has this giant iron girder that she's getting ready to launch at someone's face.
As long as their base is behind it.
Yep.
Mm.
Everything is based around the base, which is where I think the game should be. But like, so looking at the screen right now and the stream, you've got some coordinate demons there. So you got the Demon Prince showing. That is hilariously sold out.
Hit.
But
like half of demons is sold out right now.
like the wings on that guy, wings look fantastic,
Oh yeah.
but they're a liability,
Yep.
and I hate that about the game. I hate that so much about the game right now, that you can't field your cool models because the way that they design the model, which you have zero control over because everything is monopose, makes it a liability.
If you're good at converting, you've got a choice.
Well, guess what I'm not good at?
Oh, well, maybe try harder and stop modeling for advantage.
That's the other thing too, is
As soon as you do that, you're modeling for advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing I'm worried about, is just getting yelled at by a TO like, oh nope, you modified the model, so therefore it's modeling for advantage and you can't run this model.
Yup.
So
Yeah, no, I agree. When was the last time they did that? Was that 4th edition or 5th edition? I don't remember. But yeah, I can agree on that. I think it is kind of annoying. Um, demons in particular suffer from that because of the big boys. So do Tyranids. And I'm trying to think of what else who has big monsters like that. It's pretty much them. I mean, Chaos Space Marines. But yeah.
I know a lot of people are upset, or they're citing like the Mutilith Vortex Beast as being super cheap. But for a lot of armies, like, I can't hide him. He's always a target.
Right.
Because of the way that he's modeled.
Right, and I mean that's why you're taking 3.
No, I'm taking 2. I don't take 3.
It feels like a mistake, but okay.
Let's just say I in my head I'm trying to, well, so I've played with the 2 Mutilith Vortex Beasts, and they are great utility, solid bit of shooting, pretty strong in melee, but they're not good. Like, the best moment I had with the Mutilith Vortex Beast, there's the 2 best moments were, I had one shoot at a rhino, and I wounded, and I happened to roll a 6 on the damage. Not to wound to trigger the devastating wounds, but just 6 on the damage. And with it being AP -4, the rhino had a 6-up armor save. It was in cover, and I just did 12 damage to a rhino with 1 shot. Therefore, the rhino was removed. That was cool, but that's not going to happen all the time. And they probably are a bit too efficient, I would say, but I really don't see them going up much beyond like a 155 to 160 type of range.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that anyway until we actually get a points adjustment, which points adjustments are once every 6 months, I believe.
So they're changing the process.
Okay, is it going to quarterly too?
Yeah, so from what I understand and from what I've heard is they're going to be flipping the script. Instead of doing new rules every quarter and points every 6 months, it's going to be opposite. It's going to be new points every quarter and then rules adjustments likely every 6 months.
Okay.
So I think their approach is, unless something's like particularly dire, like how it was with the Flamers of Tzeentch, where they're like, yeah, there's no points adjustment that we can't make that won't make these guys unusable or unspammable. Unless it's a situation like that, I think it's just every 3 months we're going to get new points, and then every 6 months, There's going to be new rules. Um,
I think I like that better.
I think so too. I think it gives them a chance to try and make the subtle taps and changes that they always strive to do. Like how many it took like what 3 or 4 rounds of balanced data sheets to get Tyranids into a spot where they didn't feel completely over the top.
Yeah.
You know, granted, sometimes you're just like, okay, yeah, we understand you're trying to do light taps, but sometimes you need more than just a little light tap.
The problem is when they either do a light tap or they get the full board of education out and just start beating you to death with it. Like,
the literal board of education.
yeah. They have a very hard time getting in the middle with stuff. Like when there was the whole Drukari thing in 9th edition, it took them 3 different rules changes to actually bring them, to heal. And then they went too far. Like it was, they just couldn't bring them down enough. Same thing with Harlequins. And then they hit them too hard, and just, they have they're very difficult time getting in the middle, like where they need to be. They either go too soft or they go too hard. And I'm not sure what the cause of that is. I get that they want everybody to play with their models that they buy, but like...
Well, I mean, not to drag it up, but I think one of the hardest hit things that happened was what they did with buggies.
Oh yeah, that was... I still think they went too hard with that. I think they could have just raised the points and it would have been fine. Or towards the end, they could have made them 3 again, and it probably would have been okay. And half of that was more the freebooters than anything. They could have just adjusted the freebooters clan trait, and that would have fixed it. Because that was the biggest problem.
Mm-hmm.
Was that freebooters, oh, you killed something, now everybody gets +1 to hit. Oh, man. The Rocket Truck Squig Buggies and the Scrap Jets are hitting on 4s and murdering everything. Like, okay. And then the planes. They did do the planes right. I'll give them that. Planes are annoying anyway. So taking them down to 2 last edition was good. But, like, I don't know.
Unless you're a guard, they kind of destroyed anyone who had any type of Valkyrie or Vendetta collection.
Yeah. And I mean, now the only good orc flyer, for instance, is the same one that was causing all the problems, the Wazbob Blastajet. Though I do really like the Daka Jet. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I think it's probably too many points though. I forget how much it was. That and that they can't start on the board. That made that's a big deal now with flyers. Unless you have hover, you can't stay on the board. So most people are just not going to take them.
Yeah,
except Imperials. I kind of want to run a Blood Angels list and put a Brutalist on a Storm Raven because you can do that and it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Because you can't put any other Primaris Dreadnought on it.
Well, I mean, they removed the other Dreadnoughts effectively from the market, so I guess they had to find some way to fill in that slot since you can't buy the old Dreadnoughts anymore.
You can't?
I guess. No, I think they removed the old Dreadnoughts from the... You can't buy them. They retired the model.
I'm on this site. I'm going to take a look. There's the Daka Jet. Yeah, actually, Daka Jets are 135. It's not terrible. Best Marines! Let's see, what would they... Oh, right. They're not going to be in... do they just have Walker? No. It's not under Walker. Let's see. I'm just gonna scroll through everything, but that would make me sad if the box knots are gone. No, you can still buy a venerable. I mean that doesn't exist anymore, but you could buy one. You could get an ironclad. No, you could buy a dreadnought. It's sold out. Oh, it's no longer available. The old base one. Okay. Yeah, it's not temporarily out of stock. It's no longer available. Oof. Maybe they're coming out with a new one. Frank, you still there? Frank? Hello? My internet still working?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you alright?
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I bumped my mute button.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess the, you can't buy the regular Dreadnought anymore. Huh.
Mm-hmm. And if you look at the other dreadnoughts that are kind of based around that chassis, things like the Ironclad, the Furioso, the Death Company, the Librarian, now the Furioso, Death Company, and the Librarian, I think it's all the same kit, just different options. They're all temporarily out of stock online, which, depending upon how long they sit at that level.
Oh, the Venerable isn't. But yeah, I got you.
So there have been cases of models just sitting as temporarily out of stock online for a prolonged period of time, and they eventually just list them as being not available. So I know there was a lot of, they released that article talking about how, don't worry, the Firstborn aren't going anywhere, or Tactical Marines aren't going anywhere. I think what they're saying is, as long as they keep selling, they're not going anywhere.
Pretty much. Though I don't know anybody buying Tactical Marines. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna get when the Space Marines drop. We're supposed to be getting the Primaris Jump Pack Assault Marines. From what I understand, I wouldn't be surprised if we got new Vanguard vets. Because we just got new Stern Guard vets. I could see, and each one of the chapters are supposed to be getting the Primaris equivalent to what they have now. So, like Dark Angels will get their new Terminators to bring them up to size, and probably new bikers, like Outrider sized bikes and stuff. So,
oh man, I can't wait to see Primaris Wolfen.
That poor unit. They did them dirty this edition. Wolfen got hit hard. But yeah,
I haven't heard much about them. But is it true that Thunderwolf Cavalry are OC0?
I think so. I don't know. I know Thunderwolf Cavalry are the unit you take now.
One of their units became OC0, if I remember correctly.
I'm looking it up now. Let's see.
Maybe it was the Wolfen and not the Thunderwolves.
Well, Wolfen got the Vanguard treatment, so you're never going to take them again.
What do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
The Vanguard. You know what happened to the Vanguard weapons?
I do. Oh, they got homogenized, right?
Yeah. Thunderwolf Cav are OC2.
Okay, then maybe one. I know one of the units had.
Yeah, they got the heirloom weapons, which Thunderwolf Cav got that treatment too. But like Thunderwolf Cav are still really useful.
It was Wolfen. Wolfen got made at OC0.
Yeah, okay. And then it was also the weapons. The Wolfen Hammer. It's not a Thunder Hammer. It's just a Wolfen Hammer, which is exactly the same as the claws and melee weapons.
Wolfen Hammer. It sounds like a really, really bad, cheesy 80s cover band.
Yeah. The only thing that's good about the Wolfen Hammer is it lets you take the Storm Shield. That's it. It's really bad. Wolfen are just bad. And they should feel bad. But Thunderwolves are good, I guess.
Well, that's good. At least one of their classic units kind of survived the edition change.
Yeah. Plus, you could put a bunch of you could put a bunch of different characters in the Thunderwolves, and it makes them more viable too. Because there's a bunch of them that are riding Thunderwolves. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, Space Wolves are probably on the lower end of the Marines. Though I can't wait to see, Blood Angels, Death Company, Dreadnoughts when they release those. Uh, the Death Company Redemptor Dreads. I could totally see that happening.
That sounds pretty cool.
But yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I'm excited to see what is coming. I know we're getting a new from what I've heard, a super heavy bug is coming for Tyranids. Because in the story from the Leviathan box set, they talk about a new bug. Now, if you've ever heard of the Norn Queen,
I have,
which is like the big bug that kind of controls each of the fleets individually. Well, the Norn Queen has a thing called a Norn Emissary, which literally goes after Lord Solar, and it's the Norn Emissary is supposed to be massive, and then it also fights the Grandmaster of the Custodes. The heck's his name?
Trajan Valoris.
Yeah, it also fights Trajan, and casually kills 6 Custodes, which is a big deal in 40k lore. Yeah, that's a thing that's coming, probably. They make a big deal out of it, and in the Leviathan story, that the 3 are seen. The 3 are killed, but there's 3 that are seen. So we're probably getting Norn emissaries. Well, I mean, Tyranid players are. But it's going to be a new super heavy, and it's going to be cool, and I'm excited.
Well, if Tyranids are getting them, that means we're eventually going to get killed by them.
Yep. It didn't kill 20 Dreadnoughts at once. It took 20 Dreadnoughts to kill it. I don't think it technically killed all 20, but they sent 20 after it. Yeah, it took 20 Dreadnoughts to take one down. It's a super heavy, so I mean, it's not going to be a Hierophant, obviously, because that thing's huge, but it's definitely going to be a super heavy, big centerpiece bug.
So it's kind of like the Tyranid equivalent to an Imperial Knight.
Yeah, probably. It's gonna be like how all of the AOS armies have their centerpiece model. This is gonna be the Tyranid centerpiece model.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
I'm excited to see it at least. There's a picture of its head in the Leviathan book, I believe. Not the model, but the art of fighting Trajan. But I am excited. They were told to kill Solar Leontis, and the one buried itself on a mountain and waited for him. Popped out, almost killed him, and then Trajan's then the Custodes came in their whatever fighter gunship thing and dropped in and I think not.
Very cool.
Yeah. So it'll be exciting. I'm excited to see. I mean, Orcs come in a year. I'm excited to see what they get. Probably just characters. We have too many. What's it called? We got too many fine crap characters.
What characters are left for that you would think that they were need to overhaul or upgrade?
Literally anything that's fine cast. So let me find them. I know. So Snickrot just got one. Just got his plastic model finally. And then we got, hold on, pulling it up. The Vulture, what the heck's his name? Any day now.
Oh, you're talking about the named
the named orc characters.
Yeah, the named Storm Boy, right?
Yeah, the named Storm Boy, Mad Doc Rotsnick, he needs a model. We did get Snickrot, so that takes care of him. Captain Badrock, he needs a plastic. Um,
I could see that happening. Brand new Flash Kids kit.
oh no, the Flash Kids kit's fairly recent. We're not getting a new Flash Kids kit. But I could see
Define fairly recent.
fairly recent as it's not needed to get a new Flash Kids kit. They're like in the last two. I think it was like 7th edition or something like that. I realize it's like 10 years ago, but they don't need. There's a lot of other kits that need it before Flash Kids got a new kit. That's still a gorgeous kit. Tank Busters. That's the last like fine cast unit that's left. And we would need a regular big mech with a custom force field, because that's technically still fine cast and or metal. I have them in metal. Where is it? We need a new plastic Weird Boy. And Log Banner. Oh, it looks like the character. I don't see the characters anymore. Actually. Yeah, they look like. Looks like they're gone. Yeah. The old fine cast orc models are gone. Nice.
Well, there you go. That's a pretty good sign. Or at least means that they're might not survive into an index or a codex, I should say.
Yeah. But still. God, I just want new Tank Busters. I mean, they suck right now, but I just want new Tank Busters. Trazen needs a new model. Does he, though? He's not very dynamic. I guess.
I think that Trazen should definitely get a new model. I mean, he's such a cool character.
He is. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just... well, I think Custodes probably should get, like, a couple more units in general. But they don't... They're fairly limited. I mean, they have, like, all Forge World. Forge World is all Custodes, but... Yeah, I could see Trajan getting a new model. He's just kind of stuck in that semi-epic pose, and it's...
I think he might be not Trajan, but Trazen.
Oh, Trazen the Infinite.
Character.
Yeah. Necrons just need characters as well. That's pretty much... Oh, yeah, Trazen, not Trajan. Yeah, Necrons need characters as well. That's pretty much all that's left in their range, is characters. Pokeball rule. Because, yeah, they just need to get rid of the fine cast. I mean, they've been doing a good job of getting rid of fine cast. I'm not going to lie. Necrons. And Epic Heroes. Yeah. I mean, before they do any of the other ones, they just need to do New Catan. I'm sorry. Literally everybody else can wait. New Catan. Look at the Void Dragon and then look at the Deceiver and Nightbringer.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm surprised that the Void Dragon kit wasn't like a multi-kit that you can build several different Catans out of.
Why would they do that when they could sell you separate $125 kits?
Well, so just to re-clarify that statement, that you can build other Catans that aren't the Deceiver or Nightbringer.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, literally every other Necron character, aside from that's not the Silent King, the Void Dragon, or Xeris, needs a new model. It's pretty much what it is. But man, I would love a new Auric and a Trazen, because I love the Infinite and Divine. It's such a good book.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. All right. Well, I can be done rambling now.
Well, your ramble is done just in time. Do you have any last-minute closing comments? Anything you want to touch base on? before we wrap up?
Closing comments. Yes, I am excited for 10th edition. Please remember that TayJayPaints is hosting a deal for the Leviathan box set. It will be done at on July 15th. That is when my deal is ending. So if you wish to have you either half or the whole box painted by me, please feel free to go to www.tayjaypaints.com. It's listed down in the doobly-doo below. And please let me know so I can schedule you in as soon as possible. Everything is at about a 25% discount. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a good week. I'm excited to see the previews this weekend for Old World and I guess Age of Sigmar. And I hope everybody has a good week. Frank?
I hope everyone has a great week. Definitely look forward to talking to you guys next time. We are hopefully going to be working on developing a few new things to get the stream up and running and a bit better. It was great seeing so many new faces in here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
With your buddy Paul. We had Brian hanging out with us. A couple of the names I did recognize from some of the other Discords that we creep in and around.
Yep.
So thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys. And, if you have any comments, criticisms, feedback, ideas,
all those would be great to hear.
We're open to suggestion. So thank you so much, guys. And remember, never use your natural hair brushes in the GW Citadel shades. I don't know.
It's a good idea. Leave any comments, any of those suggestions or anything like that in the comments. Be greatly appreciated, and it helps the YouTube algorithm, I guess. But yes, sending off for tonight. Everybody have a good week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
End. Hooray!